All right, joining us is medical Dr. GBENGA KUPONIYI. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Should we start by saying Happy World Malaria Day? I wonder if there's
anything
thing
to be happy about.
A friend told me Happy Mosquito Day this morning.
Now that really takes the cake.
All right, we played a report earlier on, and there was a statement made there that really called for concern. There's so much effort there from international partners, from the Federal Ministry of Health, even state ministries of health to kick out malaria and all of that. Now, in a case where free mosquito nets are given and people don't use them, is that really the case? Because you've been working with people. Can you tell us if that is the case, really?
Actually, that's true. There's been a lot of effort over the past few years by government and donor agencies to give insecticide-treated nets. And by and large, it has worked in many countries, and it worked in some parts of Nigeria too. The real problem is that our research show that we have a heat problem. And so electricity supply is not good, and so people are sleeping in hot environments, and then on top of that, you want them to stay under the net. Is difficult. So the balance is really very delicate. So people know I should use the net, but I'm sweating under it, and I'm sweating uncontrollably. So in order to have some air, they remove the net, and so the protective work you're supposed to do, you don't get the rewards of it.
Is it a failure of enlightenment? I mean, where maybe government or health officials try to let people know that, look, it's a choice between two evils. The
devil and the deep blue sea.
Yes, exactly. Now, of course, the World Malaria Day is celebrated or marked to draw attention to the issue of funding or continuous investment and, of course, sustained political commitment for malaria.
Yes.
How is Nigeria doing in those areas?
Nigeria is not doing bad.
Okay.
We've improved slightly over the last few years because of the efforts of a number of agencies and then NGOs and even the government. However, it's not yet paradise. The truth of the matter is that Nigeria and Congo, we really account for the burden of malaria worldwide. We're the biggest people contributing to it. And in as much as there's quite a bit of enlightenment, we seem to forget malaria is really an environmental problem. It's an environmental problem.
As against?
As against just a disease burden, in the sense that no matter how many nets you give, no matter how many intermittent preventive therapy you give to pregnant women and all that, if the drains are blocked, if water is left standing, if piles of clothes are left, if all those dirty things in the environment are there, you are not going to win the war against malaria, no matter how much money you spend.
Okay, so okay, fine. Let's derive something from there. So if we have clean environment and we have all of those,
trust me, that's what has
the
made
mosquito
Europe
won't be as effective.
Yes, because they wouldn't find a breeding place. It's like killing their reproductive center. So a lot of the things we're doing were just reactionary. In order not to be reactionary, the real deal will be to take care of the environment. Every country that has won the war against malaria has taken care of the environment.
And so we're just focusing on the wrong things.
Yes, we're focusing on the wrong end of the stick.
Isn't that where government really comes in?
Yes, because the real push is environmental cleanliness. Where the drains are working, water is not standing, people are cutting the grass and bushes around their houses. That's our breeding points for mosquitoes. Then we win the war. Because then they can't reproduce, and so we win the war.
Now, speak to the fact that malaria is a cause of and consequence of global poverty and inequity. Speak to that.
Yes, you're right, because you find it in the poorest of the poorest nations of the world, and even there amongst the poor people within that place, because they're the ones that may not be able to afford health care. They're the ones that don't have health service around them. They're the ones that when they're ill, they need to depend on somebody to pay money to take them to where they need to go. They're the ones that don't have the cars or the transportation as needed. They're the ones that don't have the jobs to get the money to use to treat the things, and they're the ones that have more children.
Wow. So the dream of ending malaria for good, how soon do you see that happening in sub-Saharan Africa?
In sub-Saharan Africa, our governments take the war to the environment, which means they make it an environmental they give an environmental solution first, and then we push what is working everywhere in the world: insecticide-treated nets, early diagnosis and treatment. If we combine that, we can really win the war. I mean, there are countries have eliminated it. In Africa, Morocco has eliminated malaria. They're the only country in Africa.
But not totally eliminated mosquitoes. Can we draw the line between, you know, eliminating mosquitoes 100%, like
be able to break
in places
the
like the US, Brazil, for example, they still have mosquitoes in some areas, but they don't have the malaria problem.
Yes, because what they've effectively done is broken transmission.
Okay.
And you break transmission by clean environment.
That's it. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple
but
as
for
that.
us, it's still a major challenge.
It's a major challenge.
And 1 in 4 children
the statistics
dies
say that
every minute.
Every 2 minutes, a child
every
dies.
2 minutes, a child dies from malaria.
So within this our talk, we've lost about 2-3.
Wow.
Well,
it's that serious.
Yes, it is.
No, but in this case, well, you talked about if the environment can be the focus.
Yeah.
But is it just does it lie on the table of the government alone when it comes to the environment?
No, sir. When it comes to the environment, everybody is culpable and liable. Okay, government makes a policy about the environment. I stay in my house, I have dirty bushes around me. Okay, government should come and cut it, right? My backyard is overgrown, government should come and cut it, right? The main thing is to say government, 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 government. People should do what they can, how they can. And then government should provide an enabling environment for whatever people do to count.
That's the point, but I would still put it back at the doorstep of the government, because if government punish those who, for example, if government put out woles or the sanitation officers there,
like we used to have,
like we used to have.
I remember it was
and
very effective.
Exactly. If you flout the environmental laws, you get punished for it, or there are penalties for it. And there's a failure in that.
Yes.
So doesn't that still put it back at the doorstep of government?
It does. I mean, I'm not absolving government of the blame.
At all, yes.
I'm also trying to say that, all right,
we owe ourselves a duty. Clean.
You're probably providing your own water, your own light.
You can be sure of that.
So if you're doing that, maybe you should add your environment to the list.
It really is a very serious problem. Now, speak to the this insecticide treated mosquito nets. Of course, we've established the fact that there are people who are still reluctant to use them for all kinds of reasons, cultural, you know, that there's a heat aspect and all of that. But there are people who fear. And I can tell you that I have such concerns too, that, look, these chemicals they use in insecticide treated mosquito nets, are you sure they're not harmful to humans?
They're not harmful.
They're not, 100%.
We can be 100% sure of that.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So now the Abuja Declaration in 2000, I'm sure you're aware of that. How has it helped change the narrative as far as malaria is concerned here?
Well, at least many players came into it because of that. The Abuja, thank God it was in Abuja, so we can lay claim to it as Nigerians. Because of that, many people came as partners into the game, you know, for malaria. And I think over time it's yielded some fruits. I mean, we're not as bad as we used to be. We're not where we're supposed to be either, you know, but we've made some gains, you know, along the way.
All right, Dr. GBENGA KUPONIYI, thank you for coming on the program this
pleasure.
morning. Thank you so much. Right. Well, let's go on a break and then we talk about other issues. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast.